Welcome to the Life Poetic with Thomas Keily, your weekly knowledge drop of wordcraft and invocation. This week we're looking at Identify the Identity Parade by Dambudzo Marechera. I am the luggage no one will claim, the out-of-place turd all deny responsibility for, the incredulous sneer all tuck away beneath bland smiles, the loud fart all agree silently never happened. The sheer bad breath you politely confront with mouthwash platitudes, after all, it's poetry. I am the rat every cat secretly admires, the cat every dog secretly fears, the pervert every honest citizen surprises in his own mirror. Poet. Dambudzo Marechera was a Zimbabwean writer and is everything you want a rebellious poet to be. He went to St. Augustine's secondary school and then the University of Zimbabwe and then over to New College at Oxford, and he was expelled from all three. He had quite a wild life, and he said of his own life that his whole life has been an attempt to make himself a skeleton in his own closet. And then he died at quite a young age, at just 35 in 1987, after living on the streets of Zimbabwe with nothing but a suitcase of books and a typewriter. Now, I normally hate poems about being a poet or the writing process or what poetry does. I find it all a bit self-indulgent. But I find this a really interesting exception. Particularly because it comes through Marechera's authenticity. So he lived quite a rebellious life, constantly butting up against the authority figures in the institutions that he found himself within, and then even as he rose to fame within the sort of the boxes that people tried to put him in, as an African or as a black writer. He once said that if you write for any race or any nation, then fuck you. Quite an eloquent way of saying it, but refusing to say, like, I'm a writer and that's it, that's as much as you need to know. And I think quite a profound idea and quite ahead of its time. And so this wildness and this rebelliousness comes through in the way that Marechera lived his life, and it is reflected in this poem and in most of Marechera's writing. The other reason why I really like it is I think that it does identify a unique and unusual role for poetry. So poetry we typically think of as being in the realm of the beautiful, so it's bringing out beautiful ideas, beautiful images, beautiful perspectives on the world and presenting that, and then the beauty of the writing and of the form reflects the beauty of the concepts, and so as an art it has this sort of drive to beauty. But Marechera is saying that while there is this role, it's not the only role, and maybe it's not the most important role. And as much as we need to be celebrating beauty, we also need to be lifting the lid on the underbelly of society and of the wounds and the hurts that are there, and these things that we might wish we could just ignore, the loud fart that we all agree silently never happened. But if we're to evolve and grow as a society, then we need to move into and through these wounds, and that begins with acknowledging them and seeing them. And so Marechera says, well, this is the role of the poet. The poet is the one who brings this to the attention of everybody, who identifies the turd that no one's taking responsibility for. And in that role, the poet plays a central role in the growth and the evolution of society. And then you see this in Marechera's writing, in this poem in particular, but a lot of his writing, it's almost ugly, like he sort of turns ugly into an aesthetic, that it's these sort of jarring images and these harsh concepts and these kind of ideas that no one kind of really wants to touch, but he's sort of bringing them out and presenting them and offering them, and using his own life as a vehicle for offering the underbelly of society back to itself, giving us that mirror, like showing the world the pervert in the mirror, as the first step in growing and evolving, and so quite a beautiful gift. I am the luggage no one will claim, the out-of-place turd all deny responsibility for, the incredulous sneer all tuck away beneath bland smiles, the loud fart all agree silently never happened. The sheer bad breath you politely confront with mouthwash platitudes, after all, it's poetry. I am the rat every cat secretly admires, the cat every dog secretly fears, the pervert every honest citizen surprises in his own mirror. Poet. This has been the Life Poetic with Thomas Keily. See you next week.